his student, you know.
Oh.
He's much more older. His life is just something else. It's something I feel needs to be studied, especially in the church by youths. Because that man, the testimonies you hear about him, the way people can't even let go of him. Sylvester Stallone was crying at his funeral, as old as he is, you know. The man was the epitome of discipline. Discipline. I mean, how many celebrities, those ones I can call them celebrities. In Nigeria, I call them celebrities. But how many of them do you know that are without scandals? Including people like Sylvester Stallone themselves and Schwarzenegger. Most of these people have scandals that, rock the media space one way or the other. But this guy is almost like a clean whistle. Chuck Norris is like a clean whistle without scandal. And what would have looked like a scandal is what I would like us to discuss at the end of my presentation. Because it begs, I was asking a question. I was asking, does this man even have any fault as a human being? He obviously has one that, came up now that we know of. Probably one of many, but, the one that could be considered major. And it was not even seen by anybody as a scandal. Imagine a celebrity like that having a child outside wedlock, what they call cheating on his wife. He was already married. And nobody treated it like a scandal. That is how much that the life of that man affected people. His good is so much that so overshadowed the bad, the little bad that he has. So let me go into it. He was born in 1940 from a very humble beginning. And something you will never miss in his story is that he was in fact, till he died, he was a shy person, a very shy boy. And imagine a shy person joining the military. So he joined the military to find expression for his life, basically to survive. His father was not there. His mother raised him as a single mother, a single parent. But his mother was a very devoted, religious person, very disciplined person. And he says everything about his life was from his mother. We get to have lucky mothers like that. Some women are really, where some of us are lucky to have mothers like that. And she was just his everything. She was his foundation for discipline, and he just learned discipline all his life. Joined the US Air Force, and he was posted to Korea. I believe in those days there was no North and South Korea, it was just Korea. So Korea, China, Japan, these are the people that do, this sport of karate. So he learned karate there. A sport that was not existing in America, or maybe was not popular in America at his time. He went there, learned it, and became a world champion in karate. Came back, joined Hollywood, and introduced it to Hollywood. So it wasn't just action movies of shooting guns; they were action movies of karate fighting. With Eastern people like Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is from where? Is Bruce Lee from Korea or Japan?
They're not Chinese.
Do you know that, Pastor?
From
Okay,
Korea.
it's Chinese.
Okay.
Okay, it's from Korea, right?
I don't
Okay,
think
so
I don't think it's Korea, Shawa. It doesn't matter.
All right, so people like Bruce Lee, the other one, Jet Li, and all these one, people that flooded Hollywood with that kind of action movie. So Chuck Norris was like the king of them all. So his life is just discipline. Discipline is just what we're going to be discussing. From what he learned and a foreign sport, he came back to America and built his own, developed it, and created his own style of martial arts. Gave it his own name and was using it to train youth. And he wasn't just training them to fight, he was teaching them discipline. discipline, self-respect, and resilience. He was working with youth programs, basically for character development initiatives. That was a man that was so given to society. Was he famous? Yes. Was he rich? Yes. Was he using his money to buy expensive cars and doing all manner of stupid lifestyle? He was investing in society. That's a guy that has a story. He knew where he came up from. He came from, and he just wanted. I'm sure in his life he'll be thinking like, no child should go through my experience. That gave him that purpose to work with children, teach them self-defense. And you would think that people like that would be arrogant, they would be hostile in the society. He said he never used his skills for once, for self-defense in the actual sense, because he doesn't get into trouble. He never used it aggressively against anybody. He just used it as a sport and for movies and for teaching people discipline, because karate is not a, I was, Pastor, I was thinking that when I began to hear what he was achieving with karate, I say, chess, they learn work in terms of discipline, disciplining the mind. Chess, they learn work, because that thing takes a lot of concentration, and it teaches patience to the core. For you to be able to have that kind of concentration, that flexibility, those hits. And this is somebody that will hit you and tell you that this is where the strength comes from. It came from this upper part of the hand. And when you hit somebody like this, he feels it in this other part of so all these things are studied academically. It's not just raw fighting anyhow. It's a discipline. So a shy kid became strong, a strong fighter, simply through discipline. And what have we been learning in this house? I was telling myself that everything about the life of Chuck Norris is what we've been studying in this house. It's what we've been studying here. Being present, showing up, consistency. Be there every day. Even if you're not intelligent, go to the class every day. There's no way you fail the course or graduate and be an idiot for just showing up. Something happens inside when you show up. So some of the life lessons I wrote down that we can learn from his life is that discipline beats talent any day. You can be talented. If you lack discipline, you're going nowhere. The person of discipline will always beat a person of talent in the long run. You may display your talent at the beginning, but a person of discipline will always beat a talented person. Discipline beats religiosity. Discipline beats humility. And the kind of things they call spirituality in church, which is not even spirituality, because true spirituality takes a lot of discipline. That's true spirituality. It comes from discipline. Now, talking about discipline, what do you do consistently? It doesn't have to be sport, but sports help. Sports help. I told Pastor sometimes, because I know when Pastor started playing tennis, and I remember I told you that I was a champion in tennis in my secondary school. I have a medal in tennis. Yeah. But I stopped playing. I can't even practice with Pastor on the tennis court today. That's what consistency, showing up, discipline does. So what do you do consistently? It could be daily, it could be weekly, it could be twice a week, it could even be thrice a week or even once in a month. But you are always showing up at the right time. When you're needed, you're showing up. Even when it is not convenient. In fact, especially when it is not convenient. That you don't have transport money, but you trek 1-2 kilometers to make sure you show up. That's what is called consistency. Now, before you are able to trek for a course, you better believe in that cause. Don't just be attending it because everybody is doing it just out of religiosity. Because everybody is going to church. So if I don't go to church, they'll feel this and that. You'll be wasting your time. You waste your purpose, waste your energy. But by the time you find purpose, you have something that you really believe in, you can trek 5 kilometers to go and just show up because you believe in it. And that is a kind of effort and consistency that will pay off in the future. Therefore, please don't waste your time. Like I said here, don't waste your energy, don't waste your resources in doing something that you don't understand, or you don't agree with, or you don't believe it, or you don't believe in it. So by all means, identify your purpose, your strength, and be fully committed to it. And here's the honest and uncomfortable truth, like I wrote here. You might even need to leave some things, stop doing some things that you're currently doing. Even if it is this ministry, if you don't agree with what we do in this ministry, don't believe in it, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Because you will not be helping us by being here and you're not here. You will not be helping yourself and you'll not be helping us. So I had to leave cooking. I had to leave cooking at some time. Pastor, you know Eratam, the drama ministry I used to be part of. I had to leave it.
I remember.
I had to leave it as that ministry taught me a lot of things that I know today about media, the media ministry, about ministry even generally. I learned it from Eratam. It was a youth ministry that grew out of cooking, but then it was professionally handled by a theater artist, a professional. He taught me everything I knew about acting and writing of scripts. But I had to leave. You know why? Eratam, sir, is not different from Mount Zion. Not different from Mount Zion Ministries. I struggled with leaving it. I struggled, because you see, Eratam with Dr. Ellison, he's now a doctor.
Yeah.
Is leaving a man like that, Ellison, leaving a man like that is not easy. Is as not easy as leaving a man like Reverend Mewazi. Wow. Because these are good people that are dedicated to things they're doing, and they've shown you love. It's difficult to leave them, that, just tell yourself that, look, I don't agree with what you're doing. It's difficult, but I had to leave. Because I see those people as people that have honest ignorance. They are honestly ignorant. And I thought of this movie, this Gandalf, Lord of the Rings. If you've watched that movie, there's a line in it. There's a character, those small boy. One is called Peregrine Took. I remember one time Gandalf was describing him. He did something, all those they are mischievous, whatever. He went and touched something he was not supposed to touch. And he saw something strange that the thing really really shocked him. I can't remember so much about that movie. But then when Gandalf was talking about him, he said, look, Peregrine Took may be an idiot. He may be stupid, but he's an honest idiot. Because he shot them. He gave them an idea of what evil was in front of us, was going to befall them, and they prepared against it. So like I say, our consistency will outperform talent in the long run. And I took time to think about the example of this guy, Pastor Jeremiah Gang. You know him. Jeremiah Gang is, of course, almost everybody in this house, you know him. Jeremiah Gang is one of the biggest music talent in Nigeria. But I don't know his story, but he definitely didn't live up to what his potential. And I think inconsistency could be part of it, not getting grounded in the things he believes, being tossed here and there and all that. There are people whom he taught music who became, even though they're in the secular world, who became big stars. But then if you want to be secular, be good in secularism. If you want to be gospel, be good in it. Stay with one belief and be consistent. That's what brings achievement. Not dangling. The Bible says those who are moved by every wind of teaching, you know, they can't build anything. And was it just yesterday? I watched Basket Mouth. He was lamenting, talking about Trevor Noah. The Trevor Noah, that guy, that South Africa in the United States.
Comedian,
The
right?
guy is a big boy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy is a big boy. And you can't watch that guy and not learn a thing. So how do you think somebody like that will not be known by important people like Barack Obama? Basically, there's no United States president, that doesn't recognize him in its, when he was in the United States. You know why? Because he doesn't do crass jokes like all these our Nigerian jokers that use bomb and breast to crack jokes, and that is all they know. Trevor Noah is grounded, he's intelligent. He would take, he can take the history of slavery and make a very good and intelligent joke out of it. And you think presidents will not reckon with him? That's what we're talking about. So Basket Mouth was lamenting, even though he was saying it as a joke, that look at Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah. Apparently, Trevor Noah had featured as a small boy in Basket Mouth's show before. I don't know whether he was creating that, but then he sounded serious. And of course, if you know the history of Joe, you know that Basket Mouth has been a big boy before him. That Trevor Noah came, he did something in his show, and he left like that. Of course, I couldn't have gone to him for picture. He was supposed to come to me for picture. But then I never had the picture. He said, today I'm regretting. Because when he went for Trevor Noah's show, he was humbled. He was humbled. He said, today I have learned. Say, even you now that I'm talking to you, if you say, Basket, help me with this chair, I will give it to you. I will say, come, let's snap picture. I've learned my lesson. He was just cracking jokes with it, but then it was a real lesson. Now, so another lesson from Chuck's life is how to maximize your environment. Wherever you find yourself, make the best use of it. You could be there as a result of a posting. They may post you to a village or a civil servant, they post you to where, the way people struggle for posting. They post me to Abuja, post me to this place, wherever they post you, maximize the environment. I've taught myself that long ago, even when I was serving. There's nowhere I go that has children that I don't carry chessboard around there and start teaching children. Even in this present place that I am, maximize your environment. It may not be comfortable. When I was in Abuja, I was making money from chess, teaching people, teaching children, going from, houses. I was making small money. But when you get that kind of money from chess, only in cities like Abuja and Lagos, not in villages like where I am now. But I still take chessboard around and look for children and teach them. Because it's not money I'm looking for. If the money comes, fine. But the fulfillment is in raising children with a discipline that I've come to learn in chess. So maximize your environment wherever you find yourself. Don't complain. Make a good use of it because there are human beings living there. Now, build character before success comes. This is what is wounding Nigerian yeye who call themselves celebrities. They just have talent, then producers, business people carry them and use them, give them small money and use them to make money, and give them big money that they've never seen before. But they don't have character to control this money. So it becomes a problem for them. It becomes their downfall. So wherever you are right now, you may not have the money now. Make sure you spend this time building character. Because if it is success or money, as we call it, it will come. Don't just let it come without you having character. It will destroy you. So build character so that when financial success meets you, It will meet you well grounded. You'll be able to make proper use of it. Imagine Chuck Norris, he built character. When he became famous, he was using his money to establish things that will help the society. You see all these content creators in Nigeria, when they hit one 500 million naira, they go and buy a car of 300 million naira to oppress their fellow ones and be showing it on TikTok and Facebook. Now, another lesson is evolution, evolve constantly. Look at Chuck Norris. A shy boy became a soldier, then a karate master, a champion, then a movie star. And for him, it's like he was saying all these things. You people you're just tools for me. What I want is to be a mentor, to be a mentor to. It's like that was his ultimate job, mentoring. Karate, Nollywood, Hollywood may give me money. Yeah, I need it, but my purpose is mentoring. He built a school where he mentor youths. And it comes from constant evolution. You evolve. Evolving has to do with learning, unlearning, relearning, and all that. Always evolve, become a better person. Using whatever tool that you have. I make use of, we just listen to what All Things Work Together for Good. I learned to write. I write songs. I used to sing in the choir. I just didn't have consistency practicing and all that. That's why I'm not a musician. The same thing with drama. Whatever tool that come my way, I try to develop it. Sometimes I may not be so good at it. I may not be competitive at it, but I make good use of it part time. Whatever tool that I have, it is my education. Is it my educational tool as a builder? I make good use of it. That can give me salary or resources. But it's not the only thing I do. I take my chess. I use I try to use chess to influence the society. I try to use writing. I write novels. I write books. I do make use of every tool that you have. Develop yourself. Because what is career to us? Career for other people may be medical, doctor, engineering, but for us, it's the society, it's humanity. That is our only career, is humanity, to make society better. We can use any tool. Medicine can be a tool, engineering can just be a tool, drama can be a tool, music can be a tool. It's all geared towards humanity. Just like I gave the case of Chuck Norris. What he had, he was vast in so many things. Even though he just focused and became very good at something, using his skills in movies and all that. But then his purpose is mentoring. He just want to see a better breed of human beings. That is ultimate career, and that's something we should learn from. Now, so what do you do with your achievement? Let's say you've been consistent, you've practiced, and then you have achieved. What do you do with it? Your strength. What do you do with your strength? Chuck Norris was a very strong person. You can't look for a struggle and go scot-free. But what do you use that for? Do you use it to oppress people? No, you use it for service. We've talked about that. It's all for service. Let service be our focus. It is not just for you to make money and buy stupendously expensive, Japanese or German and American products, such as cars and diamond rings, just to propose to a girl. Just buy a gift, a diamond ring, 500 million naira, 300 million for a ring. And you're living in a society with dilapidated hospitals. It just doesn't, show that you have sense. You may have money, but you don't have sense. So use your strength for service. Serve your community. You see, adults live basically for children. We need to know that. We need to know that we're living for children. That's why I don't understand when people take themselves too, so selfishly. Husband's ego, wife ego, because of fight, your ego. You now break the marriage that has children and destroy children. It means you just don't even know why you're living. Because adults should live for children. So true strength lifts others. It defends others. It protects others. It doesn't oppress others. That's just fake strength. If your strength is for oppressing people, it's a fake strength. So Chuck Norris, with all his fame, he found true purpose. He was a deep family man, and he had a life that was committed to teaching discipline to young people. He was a committed family man. Yeah, he had his first marriage, he had a divorce, and then he had a more lasting marriage. Thereafter, we'll get towards the end, we'll talk about his marriage. Almost done. He built his reputation for being resilient. He was not born with a silver spoon, but he was resilient, and he built a reputation on that. Never had so much of fatherly support and protection. He was raised by a struggling mother, a mother that basically taught him life, a life of faith, a life of humility, a life that is devoid of complaints and blaming of others. He didn't spend his life blaming his father for being absent. He didn't do that. He just maximized every opportunity that he had. He could have wasted his energy, just like others, getting angry at his father. But he chose to face life as it happened to him. He just maximized opportunities. And like him, all of us get to have opportunities. We just need to be, to start learning how to detect them and maximizing them. And he did not allow his fame and wealth to corrupt him. He didn't. Now, to the cocoa now. With all these, the accolades about him, there's almost nothing flawless about this man. So I'm wondering, did he make mistakes as a man? Definitely he did. Or was he a superman that was without faults, without flaws? Was his life truly as flawless as all the tributes suggest? People respected Chuck Norris this much. See, Jean-Claude Van Damme was one of the biggest movie stars of his generation. A very good fighter. He refused to feature in movies with Chuck Norris because he had a more prettier face. He would definitely be the actor, as we call them, and then Chuck Norris would be the villain. He refused to take such roles. He refused the money out of respect for that man. That was just how much people revere Chuck Norris. So, did he have scandals as a celebrity? Cheating on his wife. Did he have such scandals? Did he break hearts of girlfriends and all that, whether intentionally or not? Did he have these human errors, these human flaws? Was he vulnerable to things like that? Now, a story that you don't even hear being common among all the tributes. See, the story just just uh, comes quietly. It's not publicized so much about, his daughter outside wedlock, how he cheated on his wife. What happened was that he had a relationship with a woman, and it was his fault. He didn't tell the woman that he was married. The woman didn't know. And I think I said I've not read his book, but he admitted in his book that he didn't tell her. But eventually, the woman found out and they had to end the relationship. But she was pregnant for him. And this woman had a daughter for Chuck Norris and never told him about it. He didn't tell him about it till the daughter was about 30 years old. 30 years. Chuck Norris didn't know that he had a daughter outside. The woman's reason was simple. She doesn't want to disrupt his family life. She doesn't want to cause him any scandal. Honestly, that was what inspired me to do this teaching, to study this man. This woman's disposition towards Norris. To me, that was like the height of respect a woman will have for a man. There could be other angles about it, towards it, like, some people, when they find out, they will get angry. But Chuck was a very cool person. When he met his daughter for the first time, he just said, "You are mine." He didn't cause any drama, DNA test, blah, blah, blah. No. He just said, "You are mine." He accepted her. And guess when that thing happened? It happened after his divorce with his first wife. So it's like the woman intentionally allowed it to know, okay, well, the family, his family that I didn't want to cause a scandal for is no more there. Therefore, it's time for him to know. And I can imagine how that woman raised that girl. Because at a point, the story says that at a point, the girl knew because she overheard her talking about it. But she warned her and made her to understand that, look, that man is how he's enjoying his family life. We have no need to go and cause him any disruption. And the girl understood and held on, never revealing herself until he divorced his wife. Like I said, some other people would have handled it differently, would have gotten angry. But I think I kind of love that woman for it, how she respected his family life that much. Of course, there is the what if. What if? The question of what if is there. So it could have been, it was a dangerous thing that she did. The result could have been something else. The what ifs are always there. What if she died? What if the girl died? What if Norris died? What if? But then she took the risks. And I don't know, maybe it paid off. But to me, all that is by the way. Mine was, how could she have respected that man that much? How long did they date? How long did Chuck Norris date her? That she had so much respect for him to even respect his family life that much. And I'm sure it's like when she realized he was married, like, oh, go and be with your family. I love you. You're a good man, but just go and be with your family. That's a strong woman,
All
don't you
right.
think so?
You need to wrap up, Minister Lama. You have 1 minute, so that we can, because
All
we
right,
still deliberate.
that's basically I was asking a lot of questions around that particular scenario of that woman, and my thought was that we'll discuss it in the house. What do you guys think? I think I respect the woman for it, but I want to hear other thoughts about that.
views. Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for listening.
Thank you very much. We celebrate you, Minister Lava, for the teaching. Thank you very much. I'm clapping for you. So let's Tislo, good to see you. Deborah, you're welcome. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Does anybody have anything to raise? I noted a few things that I would like to talk about. Maybe I should go ahead. Okay. You know one. Okay, yes, my brother Adams.
Okay.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, we're not hearing you. Goodness. I'm not hearing. Is anybody hearing him?
No.
Okay. Yeah, talk now.
I think he's muted.
No, he just muted himself. He was unmuted. All right. The first thing I want to say, and that's where Minister Lovan started, was about scandal and the man being an epitome of strength. Now, scandal, my own attitude generally is, I'm always on the side of the scandalized. I'm always on the side of the scandalized. So is God, so is God's people. Because scandal is not because a person is bad or not bad. Scandal is because a bad person has access to him. That is justice. It's because a bad person has access to him that they know things about him. You know, when Saul died, Saul in the Bible, when he died, and somebody came to tell David, the first thing Saul was the reason David did not become a king earlier than he did. And that was why unfortunately, we learn a lot from the life of David. We also link it to the guy having child outside and all that. Those are actually on a very deep level. Those are not even things that make a man good or not good. The Bible, David was a man after God's own heart. But his goodness was not around all that. And the goodness that God reckoned with was not around all that. David did a lot of funny things in the light of our weak world and society. But he did things that sustain the fabric of strength and goodness in a society. David maintained. There was a day Saul was sleeping and he was right there to kill Saul. And his folks told him, this is what the Lord has promised you. This is the day. Then he cut a part of his clothes. He said, I will not kill him. That I will not kill him. I'm still talking about scandal. Then when Saul died, one guy brought the news. You see, good men, real goodness is not all these petty things we celebrate in our world. One guy brought it and said, you will give me an award for facilitating your entering the throne. David said they should kill him. He came to tell him that Saul is dead. Saul is dead. I was there when he was there. He was talking about my sword. That was even my sword that killed him. Now, David now sang a song. He said that they should not tell the death of Saul in Gath. He said, tell it not in Gath. Proclaim it not in Ashkelon. Let the daughters of the Philistines rejoice. Let the daughters of the uncircumcised triumph. So every time you hear of scandal, somebody had given access to a weak person whose loyalty ended. All form of scandal. In 2013, there was a major scandal in this country. By a pastor, I'm live streaming. By the day, I get depressed and disheartened by pastors in Nigeria. In fact, I was playing one for my wife today, and I told my wife, I said, Austin literally believed that it was lie that twisted this guy's mouth. Because the guy can lie, so people captured his lies, and they said, in one place he said this, another place he said this, and all that. So there was a scandal. So When people said it, my position was just that, and that was what I said. Benga was around, and we're always around. I also discussed the matter with Tayo. Some of you might remember fellowship. I said to it was not 2013, it was 14, 15. I said to them, I said, what happened was the guy changed to the girl, and the girl felt betrayed, and she was just revenging. Scandal is just that evil things that come from a dissatisfied soul. Anybody who's truly carrying love, like this woman Austin talked about, over protect anybody they love. The tendency to escalate people's character flaws, their peccadillos, emanates from a heart that is seeking revenge or seeking power that that person is occupying. So if there is anything that is a blessing from that about this man, is that he was wise in the selection of people that were close to him. As kind as he was to the world, he was selective in his immediate society. I want to tell you 100% that the case of the woman, the child, and the man, and Chuck Norris himself, was not known to the three of them alone. There were other people that knew. Of course, you think that woman would not tell anybody, but they were surrounded with people. That's the nature of scandal. So most times when you hear scandalous things about people, your default position should be for them. The second thing I want to talk about before we talk, when you were talking about Eratam and Mount Zion, I wanted to say, but I didn't want to interrupt you, that Mount Zion is the inspiration for most Christian drama group in Nigeria, and is a questionable inspiration because the image of God that Mount Zion started with was demonic. In one of our recent meetings, I talked about end time and all that, where I mentioned them. Yeah, I think that's what I want to say for now. And we thank you for raising it. It will evoke thoughtfulness and from us. Then about the woman, I think she's a blessed woman. She's a blessed woman. She's better than all the virgins in her street in character and in the fear of God. That is, if you understand that, you have understanding. So she's a good woman. True love actually protects the one that is loved. Even though I told you that, I said early that nobody should seek love. Nobody should seek to be loved. People should seek to expand the love they are carrying. So I'm with you because I want to expand the love in my heart. I want you to expand the love that is in your heart towards me. Then there is an explosion of love. But love today, they are looking for a girl who is losing life, a guy who is losing life, who think that a solution will be finding love in somebody. And that's why there is a lot of chaos. There's a lot of chaos. Love only prospers in the life and in the heart of two people that are both carrying love. Love is not what happens to that excite a girl who doesn't have love in her heart, love for herself for any reason, or a guy who doesn't have love in his heart or love for himself for any reason. A guy who thinks that he can buy love, a girl who thinks that she's deserving of love. If there's no love in you, you have not loved yourself, you have not walked in the fullness of the love of God for yourself, you should not be in love. You'll be a danger to yourself and to the people you want to love. So the woman was thoroughly and truly in love, and I salute her for that. All right. Any question or contribution? Thank you for your time so far. I'm not getting any audio. Please respond. Yeah, I think it's a network device. Sorry about that. Evidently, it's a network. Yeah, does anybody have contribution or question again? Please, let's feel free to ask straight, direct questions. Then we'll go.
Okay, sir. I just wanted to ask a question because during the presentation, Minister Lovan said he talked about focusing on something. Maybe if you are doing this, you focus on it, and you consistency. So how about because there's another school of thought that they believe that you should know little about everything. So I just wanted to know what you think about that. Knowing
Yeah,
little
thank
about
you.
everything,
Yeah,
or being just be doing one thing. So just that.
yeah. You know, there was a man, and there are many people like that. Awolowo, they used to call Awolowo polymath. Polymath is a person that have knowledge of almost everything, but he was a lawyer and he was a notable politician. So I'm of the view that people should have knowledge of things, but they must be master in something. Because to master something means you have given attention to something. And it is only the things that you give attention to that will attend to you and your need in life. So you must give attention to something to the point that you become a master of it. We must do that. Now, master means that you are doing that with the ability that is possible for you. You know, the nature of our world is mediocrity. People are very average, and our world places premium and celebration on mediocrity. People that are extremely average and below average are the ones that get certificated and become doctors and all that, and professors. Austin has told us that consistently from his experience. They can't sustain simple conversation. They don't even relate. They relate based on their feelings. They don't face issue. They deal sentimentally. I remember one that was fighting Austin because of 15 naira to buy gen so that they can do online meeting. A 15 naira or 10,000 to buy fuel, The nature of a professor should be to serve. But that's by the way. So we must be master of something. You must be master of something. There must be something that yes, you also have grace in that thing. Everything that you even have grace in becomes better and fluid and flow because you practice them, you give attention to them, So yeah, I think the best thing is, so if you must choose between having knowledge of everything and just knowing one thing, it's better to know one thing. It's better to know
Let me
one
let
thing.
me
If you
add.
want,
Can I add something to
yeah,
that?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I actually lost connection before he finished talking, so I didn't even get there. But I think I get the idea. You
Okay.
see, the nature of the nature of life generally is like that. We hear master jack of all trade, master of none, and all that. When you go to the university, you're doing a course, but you do what is called GST. Because you're supposed to generally know. That's what education is. Even if you don't go to school, just travel. If you have money to travel to like 20 countries without going to school. But you know how to speak, you can read and write. You'll be more intelligent than a doctor, a PhD holder in Nigeria, by just traveling. Because you experience you have to know generally in education. When you get to do PhD, it's called a doctor of philosophy. You are a philosopher. You basically have a knowledge of something you know something about almost everything. But you are a master of. You now use your field, your specialty. Your specialty is not just about, if you're doing PhD in medicine now, your thesis that you're going to write is not just going to be about medicine. It's going to be something that will affect life generally, that will touch almost everything. So it's the nature of life for us to know we're supposed to know everything as much as you can. Whatever you see, try to know something about it. Read. Lara, I told you about Trevor Noah. One thing that Trevor Noah practiced as his specialty is voice, he knows how to imitate people's voice. But that guy knows almost everything, almost every subject in this life. Pick it and he'll tell you something about it. You know. So like I said, I didn't know the final question the way you put it, Kislo. But knowing everything is a way of life. You go to the university, you do GST. The idea is for you to know as wide as possible while you're focusing on one thing. And the issue of consistency is for anything you want to do, whether it's for that your field or it's for the other small thing that you want to know about something. The moment you make up your mind that you want to know it, be consistent in it. It could be a sport that is not even something you study in school. Consistency, for you to really be grounded in anything you're paying attention to, you have to be consistent at it. That is, if, for instance, if it's required that you do that thing for 1 year, then be there for that period of 1 year. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mr. Alaba. So the summary is, I was about concluding, and Austin started it. So Austin, Tislo and everyone, the summary is, like I mentioned, when they were younger, they had the slogan, and I used to use it a lot at a point when I was in school. They used to tell themselves, maybe Aula or Shoyinka themselves, that their objective is to know something about everything and know everything about something. So like you are a great data scientist, you are supposed to know everything about that. You are also a minister. You know something about minister. So you know something about everything and everything about something. All right. Any other contribution or questions so that we can go? Thank you all for being here. Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Yes, sir. Where is the place of prayer in consistency and hard work?
You will have a prayer. You will have a prayer ministry. All right. Prayer. What is prayer? You know, the Bible says men ought always. Prayer is basically being in a state where you can consistently place before you that which you want to experience. So you should do it consistently. If that is prayer. Prayer is not always disturbing heaven or God, whatever that means to you, to do something for you. So what you will get in life is a lot largely tied to your hard work and consistency than to your prayers. What will become on that? Even when we are praying for ability to show consistency and hard work, not ability for God to come and do for us what only man can do. So that's how I would like to answer that. I'll be around over the weekend. We'll see tomorrow.
I'll say the place of prayer is this. Keep speaking what you want to see happen. Don't be asking God for it. Be speaking it to happen. That's what prayer is.
Yeah,
so prayer has a place, but it's about calling forth. It's about meditating. It's about confessing what you want to see happen, not begging God for something, for him to do something for you.
That's it. That's it. All right. Thank you, everyone. Tislo, how are you doing? I believe you are fine.
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah. Where are you staying now, Seth? I'll be in Ikorodu.
I'm in Ikeja now.
Okay, I'll be in Lagos, Ikorodu very soon. But we'll get to meet. I'll let you know. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Week.
Next month. Next week is also next month, but not next week. Yeah. If anybody have anything to share with us, please let me know so that we can maybe experience that you think require 30 minutes, 20 minutes for you to share them with us and we'll fellowship together, or you want to hear our contribution and opinion, please feel free and let us be doing that. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Enjoy your night. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.